Welcome to Where Passion Meets Purpose. I'm your host, Jen Mentesana. On this show, we help busy moms and entrepreneurs find more passion and purpose in their daily lives through inspiring stories and interviews. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Where Passion Meets Purpose. I have a special topic that I am bringing to you all today, and that is the idea, especially in your business, of momentum and how you create momentum if you're really feeling stuck. Definitely, I have felt this in many aspects of my life, but certainly in our restaurant business during COVID when we were going through some challenging times, as well as my entrepreneurship coaching business. And that is just when you're feeling like things are just not moving, no matter what you do, you're feeling stuck. You can't seem to get anyone to call you back. You can't seem to figure out the rhythm of creating more momentum in your space and your energy, and you're just feeling like every day is Groundhog's Day. And if you can relate to this, then this episode is for you. I have been through many seasons in business in my life where I felt really, really stuck. And what I have found I'm going to give you 5 steps to helping you get unstuck and just creating more momentum to get you back into that rhythm of moving forward in your business and in your life. And the first thing I always say to do is to go back to your why. Why are you doing this business in the first place? What is that purpose, that reason behind why you started your business? And I can tell you a little story. When we had our restaurant business in Redondo Beach and we were doing really well for the first few years and we opened our second location, we got really kind of caught up in the idea of growth for the sake of growth. And we really were focusing on, okay, we're going to the next big thing. And we built a bigger restaurant and expected more people to come. And when that didn't happen, we really had to go inward and figure out what wasn't working and why were we not getting the momentum that we had in our first restaurant location. And it did take us a little while to figure out that we had kind of lost sight of our why in the first place. We had opened our second location just for the sake of growth and not really for the purpose behind why we opened the first one in the first place. Our original, why and purpose was around, serving our community and feeding, families and connecting with people and serving authentic Neapolitan pizza and delicious quality food that was also healthy. That was really a priority to us. And we did that in our first location and we were really rooted in that and we were rooted in community. And I think when we opened our second location, not that we walked away from those values, but that we lost sight of that why in the first place. And it came, we started moving forward just from the sake of success and growth and not really from actually feeling the connection to our purpose and why we wanted that business in the first place. So that's always what I tell people. Just get reconnected to who you are and why you started this business in your first place. If you wrote a mission statement, go back to that mission statement, revisit that. How does that make you feel? Are you still connected to that purpose? Because that will get your energy back into a positive momentum place. Because kind of when you're stuck, there's a lot of just stagnant energy. That word stagnation, I mean, for those of you who are entrepreneurs and business owners, you know what I'm talking about. It's not a good feeling. And so when you feel stuck, the best thing that you can do is go back to your purpose and your why. And then from there, you can take one small aligned action step. And in this case, I would, for example, we went back to looking back at some of our original business plan and just notes and all of the feelings and emotions that we were feeling in that time when we were first opening our first restaurant location so that we could get that energy back in place. And then we kind of started to remember, oh yeah, we loved hosting these fun wine tasting nights. Let's maybe try that again. Or let's do a special on allowing people to make up their own style of pizza and come in and create their own, flavor pairings on their pizzas. So we went back to our roots and we just took baby steps. We tried something new. We put something on the specials menu. We recreated the energy of moving forward, even though we weren't really changing anything. We were just going back to something that had worked before. I also say if you're in a place where you're stagnant, is to really just try to do one action step that gives you a feeling like you accomplished something. So even if it's that creating a post and putting it out on social media, or maybe it's just going to your store location and refreshing the clothing rack if you're in the clothing business, and just rearranging the room, creating new energy. All of those things can help you like remove that stagnant energy. So make sure that you are clearing clutter out of your space. If you have papers everywhere and you've been working on 15 different projects trying to move things around and you're feeling a little cluttered in your mind, clearing the clutter can help you get refocused on one step forward. So whether that's physical clutter or mental clutter, getting really, really clear and removing anything that's not feeling good or giving you a lot of energy and momentum, put that off to the side, put it away, close the notebook, put the pile of papers away, and know that you'll come back to it at some point. And if you're meant to come back to it, you will. But if it's just sitting there holding and taking up space and it's not creating momentum, you probably need to clear that clutter out. And that also goes for your mind. So I always feel if I'm cluttered in my mind, I can't do anything. I actually have to like have my desk in order, have the dishes out of the sink, have everything organized before I can even start my day, because I need to have that energy of the clutter is cleared so that I can focus. So that's a really important step when you're feeling stuck. Um, then I would just say, surround yourself with inspiration. I listen to podcasts regularly when I'm in a funk and I can't get myself feeling motivated or inspired by anything. And I'm feeling stuck and I'm sitting at my computer, I'm trying to write, or I'm trying to put together an e-blast, or I'm trying to do something and the energy isn't flowing. My brain is just stuck. I will get up off the couch and just force myself to go for a walk and turn on a podcast. And I'll literally search like topics that I'm feeling like I need to hear in that moment, whether that be how to get unstuck, or what's the best strategy to write an e-blast about blah, blah, blah. There are topics on podcasts about literally everything. And so I try to inspire myself in those moments. And if that isn't happening, I pick up the phone and I call someone who inspires me. I text my mentor. I text someone who I know is going through a similar thing than me. And I say, hey, I need a little inspiration. I'm feeling stuck. And I have a couple of women in my mastermind group that I can text them at any given time of the day. And they'll be like, you are amazing. You know that you've got this. And it just gets me rejuvenated. So make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who support you and support your vision and your goals. And that will help like uplift your energy when you're feeling stuck. And I would also say, and this is super important, the last thing, the fifth step is to give yourself some grace, give yourself time to pause. If you're feeling stuck and you can't get in the momentum of moving forward, take a break. Remove yourself from it for a little while and go do something else that gives you energy. I say this all the time. You guys have heard me talk about this over and over again. Like, if you're not in a good place, if your mindset's right, you have to have your mindset set before you even try to focus on strategy. So get out of the house, go do something that makes you feel good, move your body, drink a glass of water, have a snack, do something to shift you a little bit, and read for 20 minutes. It's like pick up a book and just say, you know what? I'm giving myself a 20-minute break. I'm going to pick up a book. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to read, and maybe something will come to me that'll pop into my head that'll give me an idea that's a step that I can do to move forward. I always say there's always something you can be doing. In this day and age, it doesn't matter if you can be posting on social media or writing an email or reading about something that inspires you, or connecting with a colleague, or reaching out to someone on LinkedIn. Just the action of movement allows you to get in the space and momentum. And what it also does is it creates confidence. When you're feeling confident, because you're in an action state, it builds more confidence. And then you get in that unstuck mentality. And so I actually think that just momentum is such a huge part of entrepreneurship, because in entrepreneurship, we're not reacting to things coming at us. Usually we're having to go out and create the action. We're the ones that are making things happen on a daily basis, especially if you're in a service-based business and everything is about you communicating, connecting, reaching out, networking, marketing. All those things require action from you. And if you're not feeling the momentum and you feel like nobody's out there and you're just throwing things, you have to do things that are going to give you energy so that you can do that. Once you will find that once you can take those few steps to get into some energy, to take some action, it'll start to flow again. It's like stagnant air that sits in a room without opening a door is not going to get unstagnant. You have to change the physical environment around you, the mental environment around you in order to move forward. I was just having this conversation actually with my husband the other day, and he's working on a project for our business, and he was getting a little frustrated that he wasn't hearing from anyone. He's been outreach with nothing coming back. And I said, okay, well, what's one thing you can do? Think of one thing that you can do. Maybe it's doing a new LinkedIn post about a new topic on the product that you're launching, just to create momentum. Like, don't just sit at your desk and send emails all day long and get frustrated that no one's responding. That's not going to get you anywhere. If you're in the momentum and you're sending emails and things are happening, that's great. But if you're sitting there day after day, sending out emails and making phone calls and you're not getting any response, it gets super frustrating. So what you do need to do is put yourself in an action phase. Pick up the phone, have a conversation with someone that's going to give you some feedback, that may drop a little, motivational nugget for you. Like I said, the podcasts, I have a few favorites, and I'll drop those in the show notes that always shift my energy. I mean, going for a walk and listening to a podcast is the number one way that I do it. And 90% of the time, I will tell you, if I put out in the universe what I need and I pray, or you could just say, universe, I need to hear something that's going to get me out of this stuck feeling of feeling like I have no control over the outcome of this situation. I need something that's going to come and give me some energy to move forward. 9 times out of 10, if you ask and then you take one step, turn on a podcast, go for a walk, write in your journal, the universe will start to flow and give you the answers that you need to guide you down the path to keep moving forward. So that's my little tip about momentum. I hope it helps. This is a topic that I can so relate to, and every entrepreneur can relate to, and it's super frustrating, but there are things you can do. And I'll type all of this in the show notes so that you guys have the 5 steps that I take to get unstuck and build momentum. And until we meet again, I hope that this was helpful, and we'll talk soon. Thanks so much. Thank you again for listening to Where Passion Meets Purpose. If you're enjoying this show, please subscribe and download it so you don't miss an episode every single week. And if you think you have a friend who might benefit from listening, please share it with them as well. If you'd like to contact me, you can always reach me through email on my website at jenmentesana.com and my social media, Jen_Mentesana. And you can DM me there and I'll always respond, and we can connect about topics on the show or anything else you'd like to discuss. Thanks again for tuning in.